It's time for game night. Tonight we are talking about Inside Xbox, the Series X gameplay reveal show that severely lacked gameplay. Did Xbox just lose momentum that they had? How the PS5 could capitalize on it with their reveal. Also, we're going to discuss Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Summer Game Fest, and more. Then later on, we're going to play a fun game of 21 questions. I'm Daniel Hofflich, and joined with me in the party chat tonight is Peter and Steven. Let's roll it. So I just realized right when I did that normal routine that we are live, and there will be no post-production for me to add in the song.
It's gonna roll it.
Yeah, we're rolling with it. Yeah, sure, why not? Yeah. So we just had me do
it live.
In the other two podcasts, just for a little reference here. In the other two podcasts, I would go back post-production, add the theme song. But yeah, so you just got my voice straight up on that one. All right, what's up, guys? All right, let's kick this show off. There's a lot to talk about with Inside Xbox doing their gameplay reveal today. The big gameplay reveal of Series X. I know there's a lot to discuss there. So before we get into...
go ahead. Defend it a little bit.
Okay.
It was all in-game footage. So that's something that they were clearly displaying throughout the whole thing. It was all in-game footage. So what it might have been lacking in gameplay, it was all in-game footage. So it was what you would get if you were actually playing the game.
I saw that, and there's the one thing about when it says in-game engine footage, that's always really misleading because when you can see trailers, and a prime example of it would be Battlefield. When you see a Battlefield trailer, it says in-game engine, and it looks, I mean, of course, the game looks beautiful, but it doesn't look like that. You know what I mean?
They probably run those on really high-end PCs too, though.
Right. The game engine is basically saying, like, hey, this is what our game engine can do. It doesn't necessarily mean that this is what you're playing. Like, you know what I mean? like Unreal, I guess. Unreal can do a lot of stuff. You know, I guess that's the game engine.
Those Battlefield trailers, for example, are very choreographed, right?
Mm-hmm.
They make it look really cool. Technically, it kind of is gameplay. I'd use that word real loosely. But I think what we saw at the Inside Xbox is something along the Battlefield-esque gameplay trailers.
Right.
So getting into now.
Exactly. And
they sprinkled some gameplay in. Sprinkled it.
Yeah, there were glimpses of gameplay, and I think that's all. That was the big takeaway from it. You know what I mean? Trailer fests are only like spectacle for sake of spectacle. Like you take so much in, but you don't really walk away like saying, "Oh wow, I can't wait to play that," because it's nothing that you actually got to see playing. You know, it's like, for example, I guess the Ascension game. It started off with this. I believe Ascension was the Diablo style Contra.
Oh, was it Descent?
Was it
Hold on, let me look.
Either Ascent or Descent, yeah. But yeah, that game starts off with this beautiful CGI thing, and I'm like, oh my god, these graphics are amazing. And I mean, don't get me wrong, when they Ascent, okay. When they actually started showing the gameplay, I was like, this looks amazing, but it was nothing like I was expecting from that trailer that they were showing at first. So I'm happy that they showed gameplay there. That was one of the games that we actually got to see a glimpse of gameplay. Like, I mean,
there was UI and all that.
Yeah, you got to see it actually in action. Where we got to see Dirt 5, a couple other games in action. Yeah.
Battlefield better.
That first game they showed, Bright Memory, was that gameplay? Like,
now that, dude.
That looks great. First off, that looks wow. I originally, when that started showing, I for a few seconds I thought it was like Titanfall, because you had the wall running, and even the gun gameplay. I was like, oh, that looks really good. But I think that's probably the best example of probably gameplay we got, really, as far as I can remember the trailer.
So they started off good. really good.
Yeah.
Actually.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the fact that they were like, this game is made by one person. Like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
Blew my mind, dude. I don't know. I was definitely shocked when I heard
how do
that it
you
was
do that?
one person developing it. But then it also made me think, oh, are we actually gonna play this game, or is this like kind of like a tech demo type thing, like saying, hey, this
Yeah.
is
So
this is what it's
Yeah.
capable of, but don't expect to see a
yeah,
finished game.
yeah, there's no release window for it at the moment. So yeah, we're probably a good while off that, I'd say.
Yeah, I think that was a beautiful like way to open up and say this is what the
It
Series
was.
X is capable of, and that's what I kind of was expecting. The entire show was to kind of see things like that,
Would have been
and
nice.
yeah, and I was not expecting. My expectations were not on big name titles tonight or today. I wasn't expecting to see anything any AAA game. I was expecting indie games that were showing off the game. You know what I mean? I was expecting games like Dirt 5 that were revealed, but I think my biggest expectations and going into the show is that I was expecting controller in hand running on the console. You know what I mean? Like I was expecting to
Yeah.
see hands-on gameplay where you get to see this is how the Series X is running these games, super fast load times, like just buttery smooth frame rate at 4K, and just show me that. I would. This is one of those examples where the menus would have been exciting. You know what I mean? Like you're going through the menus and they're just blazing fast, and like you would be able to just load right into a game. That's what people wanted to see. I feel like.
I
Yeah.
was
I,
I
I
was
imagine
really
we'll
expecting
see that.
that. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, Steve, I imagine we'll see that at their July event. You
Hmm.
know, going through the UI, flicking between games. Yeah, so I imagine that'll be the July event for
I
that.
mean, granted, we kind of have seen that. I'm not like ignoring the fact that they have shown like the 5 games running on the Xbox Series X before. Like they showed Ori, just like switching between Ori to uh, what was it, the State of Decay
Hellblade, was
and
it?
Hellblade. Yeah, they
Yeah.
jump back between these 5 games, and that was super impressive. But for the gameplay reveal here, I was expecting to see like, hey, this is how fast it, or yeah, this is how like instantaneous you can get into a race in Dirt 5. And then I would have
Yeah.
been immediately like, I want to buy Dirt 5. Although I think my biggest thing that makes me want to buy that game is Nolan North and Troy Baker. Like it wasn't even the Series X. I just wanted to, I was like Nolan North, Troy Baker, and it kind of want to see it or play it.
The one I was most disappointed with was Assassin's Creed. I was actually expecting to see that
Yeah.
hands-on gameplay like you were referring to. Like they, I don't even consider what they showed gameplay. It was just like brief moments in the game. Like that's not
They get-
gameplay. Like gameplay is when you're out there hitting on people with the sword, using the hidden blade.
Yeah, you see the
That is not
UI.
what we got.
Yeah, just follow up with that. The creative director, Ash, for the game, he tweeted out there, I think about an hour ago. I'm paraphrasing here, but he just said that, yeah, we know you guys expected to see more. It's going to be a long marketing campaign where they go a lot more in depth into the game. But yeah, I agree with Stephen. I was kind of expecting, as we kind of did last week, we kind of wanted to see a bit of a battle scene of some kind.
That's
It looks like it's
interesting.
going to
That
be. It showed the raids, but
yeah,
yeah, from what Ash said, it sounded like they wanted to show more today, but for whatever reason they couldn't.
that's
I think it's
interesting that he
time
addressed
constraint.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm surprised he
I think
addresses
they
it. That's
only
really
had
cool.
so much time. Like how much time they wanted to jam all this stuff in there, and they're like, "All right, this is what we're doing."
yeah, I was
Yeah,
like
I think that's
maybe three
mainly what
minutes
it
or
was.
something.
I feel like this
That's
was this was all on Xbox. Like this was all of their fumble here. They marketed it and promoted it as, I guess they promoted it as like this inside Xbox presents Series X gameplay reveal. Like that's how they
yeah.
promoted it, and it turns out that they were just gameplay trailers, and that's
They
yeah.
really used gameplay an awful lot. The word into the
Yeah,
build up, and
Right.
it is a bit misleading. I think Xbox and the players, us, have different views of what gameplay really is.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they kind of definitely missed the mark on that one.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully they'll learn from today's one. But yeah, misleading, I would probably say, from the hype they're trying to build up.
I mean,
But
and
I will say though, like the games they showed were like a lot of brand new titles that nobody even knew were titles. Like the horror games they showed, like that stuff looked crazy.
yeah, I was gonna say not to their discredit or anything, but like you know what I mean. Like we shouldn't discredit the fact that there was a lot of really cool reveals tonight too, today, and a couple of those were, I mean, brand new IPs, and I'm pretty sure that that horror game that you're referring to, and there was another one that's Xbox One X exclusive, where it's going to be, in even on Game Pass. So that's really cool. The one that was developed by the Layers of Fear team, that one's going straight to Game Pass. I'm pretty sure. So
Right?
So there was
that's really
There's
cool.
that
Scorn was
score.
one of them.
Scorn.
The Medium was the other one that was like a horror thriller type style game.
That one.
And then
Go ahead.
Vampire of the Masquerade was another one that kind of has that thriller horror type. Like
That
they
was.
really went hard on the thrillers.
Yeah, that one was kind of like Greg said in the when we were talking. That was kind of like BioShock meets
Oh,
vampires
that one,
type
yeah,
thing. Yeah, that was kind of
yeah.
cool. Had my attention for sure. But once again, it was mostly just a CGI trailer. I don't know. I mean, with in-game engine, I guess I didn't see that pop up or anything. But that just I got excited about just the fact that the story looks good. But this is a problem that I've had in the gaming industry for a long time, where it's just the trailer fest, like where trailer after trailer after trailer. It's that definitely doesn't stick. Yeah, sure, it's exciting when you look back on it, like, oh yeah, dude, they just pumped out game announcements after game announcement, but it's just like, did any of them stick? Was any of them like you want to get your hands on right away, and then when you do see the game, is it going to be what you expected because of that trailer?
Yeah, it was I probably like overall I kind of came away from Inside Xbox and just it's like not is there any games that got me excited for the Series X? No, like Assassin's Creed for
Hmm.
sure.
Right.
I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that on PlayStation because that's my main console. But did it show off? Did anything show off? Why you need the Series X? No. Now, granted, they're gonna have their July event, but I think you kind of gotta start reeling people in when you have their attention because a lot of people was watching today, no doubt.
Right, and this was the very first time people were seeing next gen, and I think showing off a game like, even though as cool as I might be butchering the name, Yakuza, right?
Yeah.
Yakuza,
Yeah.
as cool as that was as being an announced for an Xbox, and like what I mean, they seem to be having this partnership anyway with Game Pass, but just to have that announcement there, and the anime game. Let me see if I can find the name of that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
With the flower-looking enemies. That's all I remember from that game.
right.
The enemies with the
Yeah, and
flowers,
the funny
and
thing
it's like
is, Scarlet Nexus. Scarlet Nexus actually, those two games were very Japanese, and that's on Xbox, so it's really cool to see Xbox kind of reaching out and bringing that in to their show to to prove to the Japanese market that Series X is going to
yeah.
be for them as well. So
The problem with that though is like Q. I looked it up after and Yakuza. That's I can't remember the name of the rest of the title, but that's already out in Japan. That's been out in Japan for
yeah, yeah,
um,
and that's the thing.
a
Like,
while now already. So I found
yeah,
that a bit odd.
it was very odd that this is the Xbox, and that's where I guess my original point was going. Where this is the first time people were seeing next gen gameplay, and to bring up Yakuza is kind of like, this doesn't look good. Last of Us Part Two just got revealed, or their
Oh
trailer,
yeah,
and that looks
that
like
trailer. Well,
infinite times better than your next gen titles that you're showing off right now, and it's not a good look.
yeah.
And I think,
Well,
what's up?
I don't think that this was any direct competition for
No,
Last
no.
of Us because that is a first party game. They weren't showing anything today that's even going to
Yeah.
be on the same level as Last of Us. I mean, there might be some titles that actually come through and surprise us and be really good,
Mhm.
but as far as Last of Us, I don't like July might be more the ones to say, hey, this is our direct attack against Sony's first party games that they
That's
have because they're phenomenal.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But it's still like it's still along the lines of you're showing these trailer fests where it's just like you're trying to build this hype and excitement. Whereas if you wanted to show gameplay of the Series X, you could have literally, I mean literally, just shown Assassin's Creed today. It just shown Valhalla
Yeah.
like
In depth.
a 30-minute
Yeah.
gameplay demo, and I think that would have been
Would have came across
like they could have
a lot
shown
better.
all of these trailers that they just showed just to get people like these announcements out, and then at the end shown Assassin's Creed Valhalla running for like 30 minutes on the Series X, and then you get like this like, oh my god, this console is so powerful, and it's, you know what I mean, like it's so fast, this is amazing, and like people are generate this buzz. But I feel like what happened is that Xbox was like carrying all this momentum going in it, which is so good because it was swinging in Xbox's favor for the longest time. Like this whole next generation, like the momentum going into the next generation, Xbox had it. Like it's just they got it, and then tonight or nobody's buzzing about it anymore. You know what I mean? It's so weird. Like they could carry all this momentum and then just drop the ball. Because I don't feel like people were talking very positive about it. And I think this was their first impressions, real first impressions of what you're going to get your hands on. And if you didn't have anything to show, maybe you shouldn't have showed anything. You know what I mean?
I think they had some really good stuff though, but I think the stuff they showed didn't appeal to like a mass audience. Like, say, if they had Halo on there or something. Like, because a lot of these thriller titles like this, only a certain percentage of like gamers actually are into that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure the ones that actually saw that and were into it were like, holy crap, that looks really cool. And if it just happens to be an Xbox exclusive, that's even better for Xbox. But I think they went after kind of a niche market with what they showed today.
Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean that's fair.
trying to fish net, see what they can catch.
Yeah, basically, and I mean, like they had a pretty big net too. I mean, like you said, they had thrillers, they had anime, they had racing, they had I mean, so all of the announcements,
They had sorry, they
shooters,
had Madden in there.
Madden
They
jumped
had
in there out
Madden
of nowhere.
just
Yeah,
randomly in there. It's like,
which
I
I
don't care.
thought that was kind of weird.
yeah,
And I didn't even notice that they showed like the new Madden running on the Xbox. Like I didn't like that didn't even come across to me.
I
So I
know.
kind of like zoned out a bit, and it's like it's not really a great game to kind of show off the new hardware. Like
Well,
no.
Well, they didn't show it
they
off
kind of
either,
like sprinkled it in there.
right? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's like that was
Yeah,
the
well, yeah, but
thing.
they showed a bit, but
Yeah, like
it
here's
to
a
was
little bit.
random. Yeah, it's random.
yeah to show it off, they could have like actually shown us how fast you get into a football game. You know what I mean? Like these are the things
Yeah,
that I
definitely.
think people wanted to see, and I think
So
the big standout. Oh well, hold on. Let's go through all the games and then we can talk about our big standouts. But go ahead.
yeah, that works. Well, you want to start from the top? Well, so I had something else on the Madden. So the
Yeah, go ahead.
Madden upgrade, the free upgrade,
Oh,
is
yeah, good
a
point.
timed upgrade. It's not like you buy it on Xbox One and you have the entirety till you upgrade it to the Series X. You only have a window from like October to March of 2021 where you can actually get the free upgrade. So it's not like most of these other games where they're doing the free upgrade whenever. It's a short window. It's
That's
EA
interesting.
only that's
Yeah,
doing it that way.
typical EA.
Yeah.
Typical. I mean that is interesting. I can kind of see like two different opinions on that. Like I can see that. Well, who really buys Madden in March? Like kind of football season's over anyway. And then like if they wanted to go buy it, the game is already heavily discounted anyway. And then most likely the Xbox One and PS4 versions will be like a lot cheaper than the next gen console. And they're like, we don't want you to go out and buy those copies and then be able to play it
Yeah,
on.
well, you
But
just think from a PR standpoint, EA would kind of just go, yeah, we'll do smart delivery for
yeah,
the PR.
yeah,
They make enough money. already.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it is really kind of silly. Like, why not? You know, in March, what are you really going to gain from? You know,
Well, by then it's already on EA Access anyway, so no one's buying it.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I did not know about the time thing. That's weird.
Yeah, I was just reading about it today, and I thought that was really dumb. Like, just let people upgrade to the next gen whenever.
Yeah. Well, you had Scorn, which was that. I think that was the game that I just kind of went. I said it out loud and just like slipped out. I was like, "What in the Hideo Kojima is this game?" Like, you know what I mean? Like, I thought he was like doing some kind of weird, going over to Xbox type announcement coming up.
I originally thought, like, from the very start of it, I was like, oh, is this a game based on the movies Prometheus? That's exactly what it looked like to me.
Okay.
Like, oh,
It looked really, really trippy.
yeah.
So Bright Memory, which we did talk about, was that first-person shooter, Titanfall style, going into like melee combat, and then driving in a getaway. It was phenomenal. That's
Cool.
exactly what I wanted to see. Probably my standout game of
That's
this.
probably all he has done of the game, though. Like, he still has the rest
Yeah,
of the game.
exactly, and that's the sad part. Like that's really all there is to the game. And then I also noticed that I think dynamic weather is going to be a big thing for next gen. You saw the wind and stuff going on in that one game that I can't think of it right now. But you were like, it's so windy again.
Was the first one.
Oh, it was the first one. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so you had that, and then in Dirt, it looked like the weather was changing. Assassin's Creed looked like there was a day and night cycle. I think you can get.
There's been for a while.
Yeah, I think there's going to be more atmospheric potential to the next gen, and I think for me, I'm just picking out things that I noticed from these trailers, and like I think they can do a lot with it. Just starts raining and storming, and like you can really feel like you're in there, immersion and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a big word right there, immersion. Like, this generation should really make us feel like we are in this game, and that's what I want. Like, I want to feel like I'm getting blown around in the wind, and
Yeah, just really feel like
it'll
you're
be-
a lot of particle effects and all that other stuff too.
It's going to be so interesting to see how the developers really get into the new hardware and the immersion, like the lack of or minimal loading screens, the environment. It's just, it's going to be super interesting to see what they can do with it.
It's one thing I wanted to see with Assassin's Creed, man. Like, you know how big that would have been? You know how long it takes to get into Assassin's Creed Odyssey? Like, if they would have been like, here, we're getting into Valhalla, and then like, boom, you're in.
They also commented there today as well that Valhalla won't be as big as Odyssey.
I saw
Because
that.
they had, which is good because the same complaint I had with Odyssey, you just bloated a lot of like, filler.
Mhm.
So I'm glad they're making it a tiny bit more linear. I just hopefully that just makes the experience and the immersion better.
Yeah.
That title.
I agree. I like that, actually. It wasn't a negative for me when I saw that news. I was
No.
Yeah. Excuse me. There was also the game Second Extinction, which looked kind of cool.
Oh, dinosaur game, yeah.
Yeah, that
yeah.
one we saw gameplay in the form of
like,
a trailer, but not actually hands-on.
I
But
thought it was Turok.
No.
right,
I
dude.
was like, is that Turok? Turok!
It was basically it's made by Avalanche, so the people that made Just Cause and Rage 2. And it looks like they basically just took the engine of Rage 2 and was like, let's pump out a quick launch title or a launch window game for next gen and capitalize on it. And I think that's what they're doing. And it's just going to be maybe a co-op survival thing like Left 4 Dead. So Left 4 Dead with dinosaurs.
Is that going for Game Pass? Did I say that was Game Pass? I can't remember.
Honestly don't know. I can't remember that either.
Like it looks fun, but I think it's the type of game that I'll probably play for about 2 hours and just never come back to it.
Looks like a Game Pass game. You know what I mean? Like a game that would be perfect for Game Pass. This is like this really quick Left 4 Dead style, but with dinosaurs, and just have some fun with your friends. And it'd be a good co-op shooter. I think that'd be good. like a
Keep
quick
me
game.
entertained for a couple hours.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't have to be a AAA title, but just to be enough to say like, hey, look, Xbox Series X has got games. You know what I mean? It might not be a
Well, I
full
mean,
complete game.
and then again, we could be wrong. It could be a full-blown game that has tons of hours. Like, it's
True.
still kind of like we don't know.
Yeah. The only thing that gave me the impression that it wasn't either wasn't ready or it's going to be a quick game is that I feel like the dinosaur variety was only T Rex or not Raptors.
Yeah, they're
Raptors.
pretty much all the same.
Yeah, I was like, there's no other dinosaurs going on right now. But what was and then one thing that was kind of exciting for me, just because I know that it was impossible on the Xbox One and PS4, nearly impossible. Split screen is coming back, which is cool. With Dirt 5, they said we'll have split
Oh,
screen.
4-player.
Yeah, 4-player split screen,
Oh,
which is
4-player.
Oh, that's cool.
yeah. So that's going to be something that we didn't really get to see much of this generation. That we'll definitely be able to get back into with next gen, and you won't always have to be bringing out your Switch at game nights. So that's really exciting. And then we also got I believe that's pretty much it for the game reveals tonight.
Hold on. No, there was.
There's that game Chorus, I think, the one set in space.
Okay.
Yeah, the space
Is that right?
on that one. That one looked pretty neat. Like,
Saints,
it
yeah,
looked
Saints
like a
Row
very cool
publisher
concept.
from Deep Silver, yeah.
And then you had the ocean game. I can't think of the name of that one as well.
All of the Sea.
Call of the Sea. So I
That
mean,
looked like something I'd never play. That was
Yeah.
a Game Pass game, by the way.
yeah, well, I mean that makes sense, right? Which is cool because I will play it. It's a game that I would have never played without it, so I will play it. Why not?
I will say though, Aaron Greenberg had the Series X fridge in the
Oh, the
back.
bridge, yeah.
That was
That was
yes,
pretty funny.
that was a highlight of the show. I was like, look at there's a fridge, man. They're doing the thing. They're going along with the
bit, bro.
joke. It's a bit, man. But yeah, so I think basically overall thoughts on this we take away from the Series X gameplay reveal. What do you got, Peter?
I think it's a tricky one because they're having multiple events throughout the summer and up until launch. So I think maybe we all kind of expected a bit more, and maybe we shouldn't have. But then again, I think they did kind of mislead with the the gameplay. I thought it was okay. Nothing major to take away from it. Probably from Assassin's Creed, I'm such a big fan of it, and then that the first-person game from the beginning of the show.
Yeah,
One developer.
bright memory.
Great memory, thanks. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's mainly it. Yeah, didn't do too much for me apart from that.
Okay, that's fair enough. Where do you see Xbox? So like, what do you think is going to happen in June?
What happened? It's July, I think, isn't it? The event.
Well, they're going to do one every month. They're doing the
Oh yeah, I expect more of the Inside Xbox. Pretty similar.
Mhm.
Might have bigger titles coming into it because they're getting closer to that July date. But the July date is the one I'm looking for. Want to see the big reveals. Want to see the UI of the Xbox. And, all the
They
usual
said
things.
it is different.
yeah.
Yeah, they said it is completely different, which is good. So I'm not expecting much from most of the events, bar the July event, where I think it's gonna be the big one, obviously.
Okay. Steven, what's up, man? What do you think of the gameplay reveal, and where do you see Xbox going next month?
So, I didn't think it was terrible. I thought it could have been better.
Mhm.
But then again, this is kind of like the kickoff to the whole Summer Games Fest. So, I guess my expectations weren't like way up here. They were kind of tapered. So, I wasn't underwhelmed, but I thought it was a decent showing because they did show a lot of like new titles that I had never heard about. So, I thought that was neat, even though it wasn't like gameplay.
Mhm.
There was some gameplay sprinkled in some of the trailers. Um, as far as what's coming up, June, I think they might show a little bit more of like the console itself off. July is, like Peter said, is going to be the big first party. I think we're going to see a lot of what Microsoft has been doing behind the scenes with game developers that they've been buying up over the years.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's like the one I'm most anticipating out of them all.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's how I feel.
Okay, yeah, I think next month I think we're gonna see the UI and stuff. That's what I feel like they're gonna do next month. I think they're gonna show off the Series X, just in its full. Like, here is the console. I know they've done kind of something similar like this in the past, but what they're gonna do is set a price, set a date, and I think that's what they're gonna do next month. Price, date, and
Pre-order?
open pre-orders. Yeah, and
I don't
then
think they'll announce the price.
you don't think so? Still
No.
waiting for PlayStation?
I think they will. Yeah, I think they're gonna. They don't need to set a price yet. Yeah.
No, I guess you're
no.
right. Yeah,
Someone's got to be first.
it's just the
no,
pre-orders
then
that you
it-
want to get ahead on that, I guess. But
Yeah. Well, if anything, that'd be July event. I think. I don't think you'd do that inside Xbox. So,
yeah,
is it
because
similar to the one we had today?
yeah, you would also want to kind of like give incentive, like say, hey, you saw Halo Infinite, go out and pre-order, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
It just feels like June is right, just because that's when the E3 would have been, and it kind of feels like that's when they had lined up, anyways. But it just leaves it June open for something, and it's just kind of like you got to show something in June. Everybody else is, because PlayStation's they're going to do their big reveal, and you can't just be quiet. I don't think so. Maybe they're waiting. If PlayStation jumps and does their big reveal, price and date, and then Xbox can just kind of come out the next week and just be like, hey, here we go. We're $50 or $100 cheaper or the same price, and we got more power. And then here's the Xbox Series S for $100 cheaper. You know what I mean? Like, maybe that's the June thing. Like, here's the Series S that you can buy at launch. So you have options. You can buy the Series X, that is the most powerful console. You can play your games through the disc, 4K Blu-ray player, and all this other good stuff. And then they can just be like, Series X, all digital. Whatever. It's $100 cheaper. So that would be interesting. And then like it comes with a year of Game Pass or something, or three months of Game Pass. It's kind of like you get 100+ games at launch.
Yeah.
You're good. You know what I mean? So it's that's interesting. All smart delivery, all Xbox Series X optimized, and it's just kind of like, oh man, wow, what a deal that is. So they might do that for June. It's almost like reveal another hardware, and that's kind of like you've basically taken over the talking points, even though PS5 just kinda revealed. So that would be interesting.
I keep forgetting about that the digital Xbox. I keep forgetting about that. Like they haven't even announced it. It's just strongly rumored.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They deal with that because like there's been no word on it. Like they haven't said anything about it. So
the only thing that I can see
me
that
personally, I don't need it. I don't need a disk drive anymore.
Well, I mean, yeah, like for me, it's kind of like I'm getting the Series X anyway because that's where I'm at. You know what I mean? But if you're gonna say I need to get a little bit of a cheaper option, it's been a rough year. You know what I mean? And then they drop this Series S. It's not as powerful, maybe. It might not be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just kind of. It's all digital, so it doesn't play 4K. You can imagine how much money they would save on disk drives without putting those in. They can reduce the cost. So yeah, I mean it's possible they could drop a Series S announcement in June, which would be very interesting.
If they come in and if it's not as powerful, you can count me out. I want
exactly. Yeah.
But
so
if it's just like the Series X without a disk drive, I might lean towards that one honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Price doesn't really bother me. Like that's not a big deal to me.
Oh yeah,
Just,
right.
Like, I mean, if I can get a powerful console with something that I don't use in it, sign me up.
Yeah, because we're gamers, man. We're just give us the best, right?
I don't care the price tag. Give me it.
Yeah, I want it. So that would be interesting if they had two SKUs on the market at launch. But that would also be, I don't know if it would be confusing.
Kind of muddy the water.
The marketing. Yeah, they'd have to.
Yeah, they really have to. I mean, they have these monthly shows leading up to it, so they can really drill it in. Like, hey, here's our Series S, here's our Series X. And if they were going to start that message, they need to do it soon. And June would be a good one, so where they can just have a couple months leading up to launch, saying like, here's the Series S optimized for Series X, blah blah blah, whatever. At the end of every trailer, just show Series S and Series X like logos. I don't know, but anyways, that would be interesting if they did a hardware reveal in June. But I also think if they don't go that route, they'll probably go with a Project xCloud route where they say this is how it's going to be integrated within Series X consoles. Like, I imagine saying you see a game in the store or whatever, and you want to test it out before you buy it, or you just want to play it. But a lot of the times you don't bother downloading a game not buying, but you don't bother downloading the game, especially in Game Pass, unless if it's going to take like an hour to download. You just want to jump right in it, just test it out, see if it's any good. So I wonder if they do that. Like on your Series X, you can access xCloud to jump into the game right away while it downloads. It'd be kind of cool, something like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because xCloud's pretty in terms of like speed. It's like it's there, it's good.
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, hey, if you want to jump into your game right away while it downloads, you can play it on the xCloud. It might not be 100% input latency and all that other stuff, but you can at least jump into your game while it downloads, which is kind of cool. So maybe they'll do something like that. That would be really, really interesting usage of the xCloud. So now that Xbox has kind of had a misstep here with this one, I've checked the social media and stuff like that with like especially on Jeff Keighley's page, and like he put up. Yeah, I looked at the poll. A lot of people not happy with this one. They gave it a D or lower. Like 64% of people gave it a D or lower score.
I think
I think I give it a C.
Yeah, I gave it a C.
Yeah.
But D or lower, of course. You got PlayStation fans who just come out in droves when this stuff happens. So, you know what I mean? Like they're ready to bash on it. But from what I've seen, the overall comments are pretty negative about it, and I kind of agree. A lot of them basically just say, "Where's the gameplay?" So, with Xbox's misstep today, how can PlayStation capitalize with their big PlayStation 5 reveal, which is rumored for June 4th? How can they capitalize? What do you guys think?
Ooh, real easy. Show the console.
Oh yeah.
Show the first-party games. It's that easy. Like
I don't necessarily think it's that easy though. Like
I think it is.
Sure.
I think people are as a PlayStation fan, like as my main console, I think what Sony have accidentally done well is by them not really showing that much, they've actually created a bit of hype, and people just want to see something from PlayStation now.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they've kind of stumbled onto that, and I think they have their event very late May, early June. Like they show, the console, and they show one or two first-party games. I think they're gonna go with Horizon Zero Dawn 2, and possibly a new Killzone. Because I know Guerrilla Games has two teams working on Horizon, and then another one. And then they start with that. I think they have a lot of momentum.
Yeah, I actually agree with you on the fact that their silence is kind of more like it's building this anticipation, this hype of the unknown. Like nobody knows what it looks like, nobody knows how it runs or anything like this. And even though Xbox they've owned the conversation of next gen, like they've owned it. When you think of next gen, you think of Series X because it has a name. Like it has an image. I mean, it has the image. Like you can see the console, you see the box, you've seen what it's capable of with a lot of their like little demos that they've done. They've invited Digital Foundry out, looking at it, breaking down the specs. They've owned it, man. But I feel like PlayStation, Sony, they might be like just drafting. You know what I mean? Like a race car, just like drafting behind because they have the lead. Xbox has the lead with next gen. And they're just drafting behind, waiting for a misstep. Today was their misstep. Dropping the hammer, fast track it. Let's go. Reveal the PlayStation 5. Now's the time. Now that the conversation is kind of sour on the Xbox as of right now. I'm sure it won't last very long because we've accepted it for what it is. It wasn't a gameplay full on hands on reveal, but the conversation is sour right now in Xbox's favor. So PlayStation should capitalize. I feel like PlayStation could just fast track it, reveal it next week. You know what I mean? Like set it up. Let's go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that. This is the time. And now that PlayStation has got the the conversation swaying back in their way, the pendulum swinging back to them, show us the console. Definitely, I agree with that one. But show us what Xbox has been doing. I want to see it operating. I want to see it in the. I want to see the technical side of it. I don't need to see the spectacle side of it. I want to see not Mark Cerny, but I want to see me going through the menus, how fast I can get into games.
Because the big thing they pointed out was the SSD. How fast does that SSD really work? It's kind of something I want to see.
Yeah.
Like if they're putting all their marbles in that basket, it better be fast and it better be good. Because from a power standpoint, the Series X is a little bit more powerful, so they got to find some way to kind of show off, hey, this is just as powerful, like it can load up just as fast.
Yeah.
So with them not saying anything and being really quiet, it could be also a letdown as well if people don't like the way the console looks. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword, like people can be really excited, or they'll be like, wow, that's not what I was expecting it to look like, or I don't like the way just like I personally could care less what a console looks like. I mean, it just sits there anyways. You don't ever actually use it in terms of like touching it, and because everything's wireless now, so it just sits there. Like I could care less what it looks like. It could look like a peach bowl.
I think that's a lot of people care about it, and a lot of people dwell on the aesthetics of it, which is so weird because you can imagine it's just fanboys, man. Like if you can imagine if Xbox revealed their new controller and it looked like that DualSense. Oh my God! You imagine those PlayStation fans would be just like making fun of the spaghetti strap brawl looking design of it. They would just be blasting it. You know what I mean? So
I actually really like the DualSense, the look of it.
I loved it too until somebody told me it looked like a spaghetti strap brawl, and I'm like, crap! Now I can't stop seeing it. And then like the thumbsticks look like little like I can't.
Don't ruin it for me. Don't ruin it for me. So, like when Xbox showed their new controller for the Series X, I was kind of disappointed by it. Even though it's still going to be a good controller, there's slight changes. I like the way PlayStation at this point completely.
Oh yeah,
more or less different.
Innovation.
It's something new. It's a new console, new generation. It's like okay, new controller look and
another thing,
which I like.
Yeah, another thing you can show at the reveal. Like you can say, hey, remember those adaptive triggers? Here's how it's gonna work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So like PlayStation, man, they can do it. What's up?
No, I was just gonna say we have The Last of Us 2 coming out now in June, right? Yeah, June 19th. So you're wondering like how much do Sony want to get in the way of The Last of Us 2? Because that's gonna be massive on PS4 for them. Huge.
I know, right? Like it's almost like you.
So how do they steer the conversation around The Last of Us? Because they don't want to get in the way.
Well, the big thing they can do is say, hey, you buy this for PlayStation 4, boom, you can get it on PlayStation 5 as a free upgrade. That's something Sony has to do because Microsoft is leading the charge, and they're beating that drum saying, hey, you can buy Gears 5, boom, it's on Series X, enhanced for Series X.
Assassin's Creed.
That's something Sony has to be on,
Yeah.
Well, I think Microsoft are kind of back to. We don't know what Sony's going to do on that side of things, but I think Microsoft have kind of just put them into a corner where they have to do it.
Yeah.
And I was going to ask you guys, do you think it's gone against Microsoft in a way of talking so long about the Xbox Series X? They've mentioned it. They've talked about a year now or more.
Yeah, the Game Awards.
So I'm just wondering, like, are people not going to get fatigued by it? But it's like, okay, Series X is coming out, but Sony, very different approach. Had the Wired article last year, then they had the DualSense article on the blog, and now I assume they're going to just a big reveal, show most of their hands, and I just wonder would that captivate the audience more than little bits from Microsoft? No, not saying they're doing a bad job, but I
Yeah,
think
no,
like
no.
capturing the people's, you know.
Well, if you
Yeah,
think
that's a
about
good
it
question.
though, like every time you hear Series X, you hear PlayStation 5 at some point. Like it always
Yeah,
ends up
exactly. Yeah,
coming
good
up. So
point.
people have been talking about it for just as long as the Series X. You've just actually seen the Series X.
And Sony have done
Um,
fuck all compared to Microsoft,
I,
showing things.
yeah.
I think Xbox's Microsoft's transparency on it has been really good. Like they've been really open with what's going on with the Series X, what's happening, what's games that are coming on it, except for the misstep that they had today where they said gameplay reveal. They should have been a little more specific. They should have just said maybe like big Series X announcements, just call it an inside Xbox. But other than that, leading up to it, they've been really, really good with just really being open and telling the audience. Like Phil Spencer in his interviews, he's so honest and like just letting you know how he thinks things are going to go. He was super honest about. He's like, I'm not sure about the software side of things, but we know hardware is going to make it on launch. He's like, Halo Infinite, maybe not. He's very open about it. But to your point, or to your question, I guess, when you were saying, do you think that it's a bad thing that they've been kind of slowly drip feeding it? You know what I mean? And I guess the way you could look at it is like, I don't know, you get 2 buckets of water, and like you got one just kind of just slowly pouring it on you, and you're just like you're getting wet. You know what I mean? This is not meant to be. You're slowly getting wet, right? It's like it's a little bit. It's just getting on. Yeah, it's getting there, and then you're like, this is exciting. Then PlayStation just takes their bucket, same amount of water, and just goes. You're like, whoa! And then you're just like, that was amazing. That's what I wanted to. That's what I wanted to see. But you're basically
That's actually a good analogy. I didn't know where you were going with that.
You've gotten the same amount.
Throw.
You got the same amount of wetness, bro. But you just got more at one time. So I guess you could look at it that way.
That's kind of why. That is an extremely good analogy. I think that's why Microsoft has their big reveal in July versus June, because they'll let that Sony announcement kind of
the shock,
settle down, and then boom, here comes Microsoft putting out their first party games that they've been working on, because we know they've been working on them. They didn't do any for the Xbox One, so they've just kind of, I think they just kind of pushed them all to the Series X, because they want Series X to kind of have that factor that Sony had for this whole entire generation. They need a game like a God of War, a Spider-Man. They need something other than Halo and Gears of War.
Definitely.
They need something else.
Desperately.
Did Phil Spencer come out and say that there won't be any Xbox One Series X exclusive for the first year or first few months?
Definitely first party, yeah. First party, they said that there wouldn't be an exclusive.
Halo's going, obviously, the current gen. Going into next gen. So I think... I think that hurts them a tiny bit, because I think Sony are going to have the Horizon Zero 2 done pretty close to launch from what we're hearing.
Not going to lie, that
if you think about it from a dollar bill standpoint, to make money, it makes more sense to release it on Xbox One and Series X. Just like Nintendo did with Zelda. They released it for the Wii U and the Switch.
Yeah, I think that's...
But I like the... Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You're good.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, I like the idea of getting a new console and then getting a game, developed for that console. It's not being held back by limitations that have to be considered on the current gen. So that would be my only concern. So I do like the thoughts of getting a brand new console and a brand new game made from the ground up for that console.
That this is you can only play it on this next gen.
Yeah.
They build these things on super high-end PCs, and they have to end up dumbing them down one way or the other.
Yeah.
They probably have 2 different type of development teams working on one version of the game, and then the other working on the high-end version. Well, I can only imagine.
Supposedly, it's like super easy to to upgrade the game. I mean, didn't they show Gears 5 running on Series X, and they said the team was only working on this optimized version for I might be wrong here, but it was a very short amount of time. I think it was 2 weeks. It only took them 2 weeks to optimize it, running at like 4K at PC ultra high settings.
Because they're building these on high-end PCs anyway.
Yeah. So I mean, to what Peter was saying though, like imagine if they do reveal Horizon 2, and it's like this game can only be possible on next gen, and it's kind of like, oh, okay, that's tight. You know, that automatically gets you like you get you percolated. You know what I mean? You're already excited for it because you're like next gen.
Percolated on Twitch.
Sure, right? Yeah. Yeah, it gets you automatically excited for it, man. And then when you see the game running, you're just like, whoa, this is what next gen is capable of. Now, granted, we haven't seen what Halo Infinite looks like. They could be like, here's the Series X version of Halo Infinite. And then they could be like, here's that Xbox One version that you can play if you want. And it's like, whoa, you know, that could be, yeah, that would be the thing. That would be like, okay, which is super smart for Xbox, because if you're an Xbox One owner, you buy Halo Infinite and then you're playing it, and then you see like Twitch live streams, or you see trailers for the Series X, and you're just like, I gotta upgrade. I love this game so much. I can't play it on the Xbox One anymore. I gotta get on the Series X. So that could be
like the One and the One X.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is going to be just tenfold on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so that'll be the difference maker. It'll be how good does these optimized games look compared to the one like the counterparts, the Xbox One counterpart of the same game. But yeah, seeing Horizon Zero Dawn 2 and they say this is PS5 only and this is what it's capable of, that's exciting. You know what I
mean? Yeah. I think the big one there for Sony is going to be Spider-Man 2.
I honestly think Spider-Man would be bigger than Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, it's going to reach a broader audience.
Definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
I just don't know if it's ready. If it would be ready at this point.
I from what I've read online, it doesn't sound like it's not going to hit the launch or anything. But I think you're probably looking at a few months after launch, because apparently the development's gone really well from that.
Launch year, huh? That's cool.
Possibly.
First year.
Well, I'd probably say after January.
Oh yeah, first year of the console then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Kind of like what Nintendo Switch did, which they did an excellent job. Like they revealed, or they released Legend of Zelda in the launch title, and then for holiday, Mario Odyssey. Like that was insane. So
yeah, that was a good time.
Yeah, they could do something like that.
But then after that, you didn't get anything for months.
My Switch has been like just my son plays Mario Kart 8. Yeah, that's
down there.
It's been a slow couple months for Switch. We don't even want to get into Nintendo because we haven't got a Nintendo Direct since September of last year.
Yeah, I won't
besides
be
the Direct Mini.
One film, by the sounds of it. You're talking a few more months before you even get one. So
yeah, because they canceled E3.
I saw an article today that they're only halfway through the cycle of Switch's lifespan. But
yeah, I saw that too. I laughed.
They're setting well, which is crazy.
I think
I don't understand it.
Man, we're talking.
They're flying off the shelves.
Yeah, we're talking Switch. Future Switch, which is a whole new topic in itself. But like I would say, I'd say yeah, sure, it's halfway through its cycle. It doesn't mean that a home console couldn't come out. I think if Nintendo was smart, they could release a home console and just say, hey, that's Switch, that's our new portable console. We're still going to support that because you can take it anywhere you want, but here's our ultra powerful home console to compete with, Xbox and stuff.
It's just not a Nintendo thing to do.
It's not a Nintendo thing. It's a hopeful thing.
Yeah.
I want to see an Ultra NES, man. I'm coining the name right now. I want to see an Ultra NES. Bring it. A Unis. People will be like, yes, the nostalgia. Nintendo Entertainment System. Bring back the name.
Yeah, they'll give it some quirky name like they always do.
Yeah. But all right, yeah, so did
Price
we?
point for Sony.
What's
Just to
that?
finish it off the PlayStation. The price point for Sony.
Price
Just to finish
point.
off the PlayStation section. Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think they're going for?
Steven, you want to take it?
I'm debating between 5 and 6.
Ooh. Yeah. Like.
Ooh,
Okay. Yeah.
Ooh.
I think it's probably going to be 5.
Yeah.
That's fair about.
I'm going 500 for both consoles. I think they're going to just
Yeah.
launch at the same price. But
I'm going.
yeah, go ahead. One more. You go ahead, Peter.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, yeah, $4.99 to be real specific for
Yeah.
Sony.
Yeah.
I think Microsoft will go cheaper, just to beat them. I think they will go cheaper because they can afford to eat the cost.
Well, that's
Yeah.
how Sony started off big with this generation. They went
Yeah, they
cheaper
got
than
lucky.
Microsoft, and
Yeah, they got
I
lucky
mean, it
there.
paid off.
Well, Microsoft shot
Yeah.
themselves in the foot with an
big
add-on,
time, yeah.
and then in bad messaging and all that other stuff. So they just kind of
Oh,
shot.
Master-
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you have Phil Spencer in the back and not in the front.
And not yeah.
You can see the difference. Like
Oh,
once
yeah.
he took over, there was a
Incredible
huge
job.
shift in how the Xbox department worked.
Definitely. And like,
Crazy.
and Phil Spencer's been super honest about that too. Like I saw in a interview with Ryan McCaffrey on IGN, like Phil Spencer was super honest about it. Like he knows the mistakes that they made, and they don't plan on repeating those mistakes. And then they said when it comes to cost, we are going to be, what did he say, flexible or adaptive. So yeah, I think you're right,
Yeah.
Peter. Like if he comes,
They're eating the cost.
they could even come out and say 500, and then Sony says, okay, we're going to do 500, and then they're like, hey, you know what? Changed my mind. We're 450 or
Well,
399.
If you think about it from a company standpoint, Microsoft has money in so
They
much
can do
other
it.
things than
Yeah.
just
Oh
Xbox.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Sony,
Yeah. They can eat the cost.
They need Xbox to be in homes.
Sony,
Yeah.
Sony needs to make money on the console.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is going to be interesting. Price wise, I think they're both just waiting, and it's going to be so weird who bites
Who goes first?
Yeah, who goes first? Who goes
It'll probably
first?
be like the day before it launches. Okay, this is
All right, we're gonna release it tomorrow. It's right. You can go out and buy it if you want. Oh man, yeah, that's a very interesting topic right there, and I'm excited to see what June brings because hey, Xbox said every
Got a lot of
month
fun.
we're gonna see something, and PS5 is rumored for next month, so June's gonna be big, even though E3's not there. Summer.
EA Play in June. as well.
Yeah, I mean, with the
Oh,
Summer
yeah,
Game
yeah.
Fest thing, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's still part of that. So, yeah, EA Play, EA Stay and Play, I think it was called, Stay at Home and Play.
And if you really
Works.
expect,
Yeah.
like we need to kind of have one where we're like what we're expecting from these different events.
Oh, like a prediction show?
Kind of like yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
It's so difficult to call because like they're being spread out. Like you don't know where else EA is
It's
going to.
not our E3 thing, man. If it was E3, it would be so
Yeah.
much better. But I miss
Yeah,
E3.
because we would have set times.
Yeah.
And,
But as a podcast show, it's a lot better for us because every week we'll have a new topic. You know what I mean?
That's true.
We'll have
It
something to
works out.
talk about. And then I think next week, I can't remember the specific date, but Summer Game Fest is going to be revealing a new game.
May 12th.
May
with Jeff
12th.
Keighley. Yeah.
Jeff Cayley said that it wasn't going to be like a triple name or triple A big name title, but he thinks everybody's going to get real excited about it. So we'll see what that means. Yeah, and we got a couple other good things coming up for Summer Game Fest, and we'll be covering it here, giving our opinions. And then, so I think that closes that out. We can move on to our fun game of 21 questions. Who wants to play some 21 questions? So how this is gonna work? I'm not even gonna let you answer. I'm just gonna make you play it. So
okay.
yeah, 20.
As long as I don't have to give any verbs, I'm okay.
No, no verbs, no adverbs, adjectives. We're gonna go back and study English a little bit more before we do Mad Libs
Yeah, I
again.
need to. Yeah.
No, we
More
all
G
will.
Fuel, more English.
21 questions, man. All right, what was that? What?
Even messing around.
All right, so
What's up, Alana?
what's up, Alana? She's messaging you just out of nowhere, you know?
You DMing you.
Yeah,
man.
we're just
She just
we're
yeah.
cool. We're cool.
Yeah. Never got to meet at E3. Sorry, man.
Let's
I
not
did.
bring that up.
I got a picture. We
I
both did. Yes.
Yeah, we did.
We're not gonna talk about it. We're not gonna talk about it.
I'm gonna make the 21 questions. It's the answer's gonna be Alana. I just want you to guess. All right, so I'm thinking of a game. You have 20 questions to ask me, and then the final question has to be, is it whatever, name the game. All
Who's
right.
keeping track of the question?
I will keep track of how many you have asked.
Okay.
All right,
wow.
you want me to start?
Mm-hmm.
Where does the game take place?
It's got to be yes or no. I'll give you that one. It's got to be a yes or no question.
So that would have been a good way to, start the game out.
I'm sorry.
Is is it a male lead for the game?
Yes. That's one.
Is the game on multi-platform?
Yes, that's two.
Did it come out during this generation?
No. That's three.
Is it PS3 title?
Did you say a PS3 title?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, yes, that's not
Yeah.
much.
It is on PS3.
Okay, that was a little hesitant there. I wasn't sure if you knew what you were answering.
Well, see, I'm just trying to narrow it down, so it's more likely not on any Nintendo.
So that's four.
Let's see. Is it a first-person shooter?
No. That's
It was a
five.
third person.
It's a third person. That's six. This is good.
It could be any game at this point.
You're getting you got some good questions here. I think you got a third person multi-platform.
And you said it was multi-platform, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
It sounds like it's not on Nintendo. I would guess.
Is it a modern game, like in the modern setting?
No. That's seven.
Has it been remastered for current gen?
No.
Dang.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, that would have been a lot easier.
Alright. Is it developed by EA?
No. That's nine.
Is it
Does it
developed by?
involve?
Is it developed by Ubisoft?
Yes.
Okay.
That's
we go.
10.
Okay, we're getting somewhere. All right.
You got 10 more questions.
Does it have weapons?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a bit of a thinking there.
Oh,
Is there?
yeah. I mean, it's got weapons. Yes.
Okay, so Ubisoft titles, nailed, third person.
Is it a game that's still made today? Like they have versions of it
Okay.
today, or is it a one-off? I guess is it still being? Is the game still like a consistent series?
No.
Okay, I think I might know what it is.
You think so? You just keep asking questions on what you think you like, just to narrow it down.
Would it go into the stealth genre?
It would not go into a stealth genre. No.
Okay, that's my guess out the window then. Oh, multi-platform.
Does it take place in medieval times?
No.
I know what you're thinking, Steve. Third person.
You're at 14 questions.
It's Ubisoft third person multi-platform.
I feel like you guys are gonna get it.
What the hell?
You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. Just need a few more questions.
So it's not currently a franchise. Wasn't we? So it's stuck
It's
on
not
last
medieval
gen.
times. It's not medieval times, and it's not modern day.
Right.
And it has weapons. Right. So it's not on current gen.
Like
Okay,
What's that?
that's another question.
No,
Here.
that's not.
So it's a male protagonist.
Now,
uses weapons.
So is it a specific title we're looking for, or
yeah,
is it a
part of a franchise?
Yeah, there you go.
What was the question?
Is it part of a franchise?
Yes. 15. Male protagonist uses weapons. Third person. Developed by Ubisoft.
It sounds like Splinter Cell, but you said it's not stealth genre.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well. I'm trying to think of Ubisoft titles here, man.
Not in medieval times. What was the other questions?
Modern. Not a modern title.
It's not a modern title. Just trying to answer your question. I don't want to give anything away. So like, what was the other thing? It's part of a franchise. You asked that one. It is part of a franchise.
Yeah,
not one that's going on today.
So that's at least 2 games, at least. What else can we ask?
You're at 15, so you got 5 more questions left.
Is it Prince of Persia?
Do you want to throw out? You have 5 more. You have 5 more. I don't want to this is the last time I'll give you that. Right? I don't know if I can. I don't think you're allowed to ask directly what it is. So it's the last time I'll give you that one.
See, could you consider that part of a stealth genre as well? Could you fit that?
No, that's not genre? Stealth. Is there wall running in the game?
That's a question, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be.
We're looking for a specific title.
Ooh.
Just to give Does it have a dagger that rewinds?
Well, yes, it does. So that's 17. Wonder what game it is. Now you got to find out which game.
That's good.
You got to find out which game it is. It's a specific
I
title.
That was only one of the Prince of Persia games.
Yeah, that's only that only implies one of them, doesn't it? Is there
Oh crap!
Sans in the title of the game?
Is Sans in the title of the game? Is that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
18.
Yeah, okay.
Prince of Persia, Land of Time, baby.
What if I said Forgotten Sands? Psych, it's Sands of Time, bro. Dude, oh my, dude, right? Well, it's forgotten, right? The forgotten.
Did you think of that because you've seen the article about Prince of Persia?
I did, and that's why. Yep, that's why I did it. I was like, we could just segue into a news story. Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
That was good. Yeah.
Hey, that was fun.
That was fun. I like that when you guys were getting it.
That's a good weekly game that
I like that one. Right? Yeah, that one's fun. I was like, when you said medieval times, I'm like, I know that it's not during the medieval time, right? I was like, I don't know. But yeah, that was.
I'm trying to think it was either Assassin's Creed or Splinter Cell, and I forgot about Prince of Persia.
Yeah,
I never really played them that much.
Once he said it wasn't on the current gen, then I knew it wasn't Assassin's Creed or Splinter.
Yeah.
When you asked me it was a PS3 title, I was like, well, it got remastered for I think it got ported over to PS3, like the HD remaster.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I was like,
my question would have been.
I was like, it's on the PS3.
Well, in fairness, though, if you said yes to the remaster, it probably would have stuck us onto the PS4.
True.
Depending how the questions
went. Yeah. If you would have said, is it a remaster? Yeah. It wasn't a remaster. The reason why I gave it to you for the PS3 was because I think you can go back and play the PS2 version, like the PS2 Classic on PS3. So not the remaster. You can buy the Classic. Yeah.
Yeah, just the port version. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that was fun. That was a good game night. Thank you guys for joining me for this awesome podcast about Inside Xbox and PS5. Next week we're going to have some really fun things to talk about, including that game reveal from Jeff Keighley. We'll play another game at the end of that one too. It might be 21 questions, might be something really fun and interesting. We'll see. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning. I'm going to end this stream. Game night out.